They're gonna live stream it. There it goes. The Sony logo came up though.
Yeah,
Holy shit!
that's a lot of stuff, man.
Once they announced, man, that is yeah, that's all right. First, let's kind of go down the line here real quick and just talk about our level of excitement here. See if anybody else is going to come join and see what we're talking about here.
Yeah, so since
The
we're now that we're
is the
kind
first new thing. You know, we've been out of comics for a little while here.
yeah, the IDW stuff's been out, and they've kind of done exactly what I thought they were going to do, right? Hey, Jerry, thanks for joining us
What's
stream here. So hopefully you're watching on Instagram. Um, man, this is crazy.
yeah, I'm stoked for let's talk about it. You know, we'll get up to the things, but yeah, the comic, right?
Dark Horse Comics taking over the series. First thing up
I'm
is
down.
a series. It's going to cover some of the backstory, some of the canon stuff, right? So
That's what
I
he said. Everything we're working on is canon.
that's a beautiful thing, right? Which
Yes,
is
because
like,
you don't have to worry about too much of that. Well, it doesn't fit in with this or that. It just does.
yeah.
Um,
So the Hasbro pack, as far as I could tell, was the one that was pre-ordered. I think they're just talking about a general update, saying they're going to use as many metal parts and be as accurate as possible.
that
Not really a
segment
lot.
just dragged on to me. Partially because I'm not getting one, and partially because they revealed literally nothing new except instead of 16 pages, the Spengler book is 32. And I get it. People wanted some sort of update, the people who had it, but I did not care. So,
No, that makes sense. And like you're talking to this audience of people that have built insanely elaborate props there live. So
well, they're talking about it like in on the Instagram comments, people are like, "Ooh, I can't wait to go and get that." And it's like, "No, it's a HasLab." She's like, "Yeah, go go to haslab.com and look at it now cuz you can't buy it if you didn't already." So, there's no point in that. I don't know.
yeah.
It's just one of those update things. I get it, but I'm sitting here like, get onto something else.
So the animation stuff's pretty exciting. And judging from that, they say that's an unofficial logo, but it seems like it may be RGB style, heavily influenced more than Extreme Ghostbusters, which is pretty cool.
If we get an animated feature with new characters as well, he said. So there's a Netflix series and an animated feature with new characters. And the animated series, he's saying unexplored decades. I'm thinking, what are we going to get a 90s Ghostbusters series and fill in some blanks here?
I would imagine 90s and 2000s, right? I mean, we don't know how long Egon was gone.
Right.
So you could still be filling in those gaps as well. So there's probably a lot of stuff there.
It's not canon to this stuff necessarily or anything, especially if you consider Real Ghostbusters a separate universe, but they did do the Real Ghost or Extreme Ghostbusters. So, but yeah, the 2000s, I guess that makes a little more sense too. The Slimer logo was dope though, and they said it's an unexplored era in a decade. It sounds like the animated series though is going to have those characters, but the film is going to be new characters, and it might, maybe it's he said his dad was passionate about this project, so it's probably that one that was going to happen, Ghostbusters in the future or whatever.
You're probably right. They may even be still using the same script. I think they basically just put it on hold to do the live action film.
And he said, my dad was really passionate about this, and I think he was specifically talking about that one. So
Now, the only thing I almost cringed and was freaking out about was, um, when Uncle Dan was starting to say when it's talking about what Dan was talking about, you're like, oh God, if you say Ghostbusters in high school, I'm gonna just jump out
I
of the
was like, wait a second. No, no, Jason Reitman wouldn't do that to us.
no, and that's exciting. No, I think that was a nice tribute to Ivan they did there. So much in
Yeah.
development, lots of games. I'm glad the virtual reality is coming to another format, and it sounds like um, Ghostbusters Training Academy. It looks like that's going to be an actual live action place for people to go. It says you're going to climb the stairs and looked on that. So is that going to be like pop up events or what?
I
Didn't really.
can't tell. What they should do is just make a fucking digital ride and license it out to a theme park or whatever. But
And we're probably still
I
going
would
to
like.
see that. I am
I mean, I
happy.
hope.
There's a lot in the works though.
Yeah,
Move.
definitely a lot. A comic, an animated movie, a regular live action movie, and a animated series, plus 2 video games. And the only thing I'm disappointed about, there's no toys announced.
Yeah.
Um,
To be honest with you, that was one of those things that Hasbro kind of teased at yesterday, and then watching it today, they had a bunch of GI Joe stuff, and you're like, what? Why did you even tease that? And then say Happy Ghostbusters and have nothing new to announce? Like, you can't tell me there's not even a San Diego Comic Con exclusive or something else like worthwhile dropping. Like, come on, folks.
I don't know if people were buying the plasma series enough, or if people gave enough of a shit, or what. Or but that's what I just want more of that.
Yeah,
Just the toy figure line, specifically.
yeah, and so Nick's going back to the no ghost sightings in 30 years. Well, obviously, there's that whole debate around people in New York didn't even believe anything happened there. They all thought that was set up. So I think there's plenty of ways to work around that, right? Where people just say it's a conspiracy or it's fake. You're making stuff up. So
Yeah.
I think that kind of works. Definitely excited that they're working on another feature film. I think that's pretty cool.
Two.
Yeah, I mean a live action, a direct follow up to Afterlife, which makes sense, right? Where they set those characters up and
Yeah.
we see what's going
He
on.
already confirmed it. The story at least starts in Manhattan.
Yeah, exactly.
It's called Firehouse, so chances are it's going to pretty much take place around there.
Yeah, and you've got Ernie Hudson ready to roll again. He's like, I'll throw the suit on.
Yeah, definitely. I think that kind of confirmed some of that shit. Like you'll get that. You'll get Ernie Hudson will be there in suit, and then Dan Aykroyd will show up and say a couple words and disappear again.
Yeah, and so it was very exciting. Dan Aykroyd's speech is pretty good. Like you could tell he'd rehearsed it and stuff. I bet he's really relieved that after all the stuff that he went through trying to push this franchise, that's it's still going to carry forward and is kind of back and doing better than ever.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that this animated series, right? If they do this right, they don't even necessarily have to have it be all at the same timeline. They can jump around if they want by season if they chose to, right? There's so many options freeform now with that.
Depends on what kind of tone they go with,
Mhm.
because if they're going with more of a how do I put this? Like how anime series or live action dramas are ongoing series, or if it's a more of a monster of the week thing, or if it's a mixture. Because is it going to be more like real Ghostbusters and Extreme Ghostbusters, or is it going to follow a like next time on Ghostbusters? See how they get out of this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, instead of wrapping everything up in a single episode, that they'll do something a little more than that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just speculating. Yeah, what they would do, and what kind of tone they're going to do. If it's going to be a darker, if it's going to be aimed more towards younger kids, or if they're going to, because Netflix did Camp Cretaceous, and I'm thinking that is Universal, and this is Sony Animation Studio, so it's not going to be made by the same people. They're just partnering with Netflix, so it's not necessarily going to look like that or anything. But I think that tone is very well. Like it's for, I think, 10 to 14 year olds
Yeah,
works very well.
reaches that younger audience, but it also is accessible to someone that's just a fan of the franchise. So, right, it's not completely terrible. To want to check it out if you're beyond the ideal age range for that. But I think that's how you grow that series, right?
Oh, fuck. We got naked alerts.
Oh yeah, I had to ban that bot or whatever. Put it in timeout is what YouTube calls it because they just start throwing random things at us.
Boobies. I mean, it knows our podcast very well.
Yeah, true.
Oh man.
No, so I think this is pretty exciting to see what's going on with it. I really like the fact that they said that's the first annual Ectofest, right?
Yeah.
Now, that's going to be a pain in the ass trying to get to LA every year, and hopefully they'll have some more structure and a little bit more advanced planning in the years to come. So it's a little bit easier for people to get out there.
I'm hoping, yeah, then for the 40th anniversary, they'll plan another big event for us. And it will be, like Ghostbusters Fan Fest, but a little better. Not that I had a bad time there, but, you know.
No, I think that's a good call out there, right? To check out and see what's going on with that, because I think the 40th anniversary is going to be a big year. And I'd imagine that in 2 years' time for the 40th anniversary, we could have the next feature film ready to go.
Yeah.
Right. If you look at it from a marketing standpoint, that's a no brainer. And then you get an animated movie out before then.
Yeah. Nick said, "I wish IDW had a chance to end their storyline," and I understand that, because I was too. When he said return to comics, I was kind of hoping they'd just give it back to IDW because they did pretty well. But they are trying to tell a different type of story, They're not gonna just like start off and do what IDW did, and they're not gonna do what 88 miles per hour did. They're gonna
Well,
make it canon.
they're gonna make sure it fits in their current universe, right? And IDW, I love that series so much for what they did, but yeah, and then I get your point there, Nick. Right, for FanFest, right? They're gonna have to do these things and have a little bit more organization around them just to make it a little bit more accessible to fans. Um, as
Right.
EctoFest this year was just kind of like very last minute. Like I was literally watching Top Gun when they dropped the announcement, and we just
Who even knows how many people were actually invited for this one little theater showing of this? It could have been up to 500 people, and they give out so many, maybe 400, maybe 200. You never know how many tickets were available. Um,
yeah, it
you
didn't
know what I
look
mean?
like there's all that many seats out there in the lot from what I was seeing on Instagram earlier from everyone that actually made it out. So
It'd be cool if they turned it into something bigger, more of a convention style fest, I guess. But
that gives
we'll
me
see
hope
what.
that maybe Sony will actually just buy up the fire station in LA and just permanently make it theirs. I mean, it's a no brainer at this point that they just own that building and use it for this franchise if they're going to continue with it.
For sure.
Interior shots, right? Why spend all the money to recreate it when you can take care of a historical building and actually have a piece of movie history forever part of your project? So, I mean, what better way to spend the money on fixing that place up than having Sony do it?
Yeah.
What was the most unexpected thing for you on there?
The animated movie coming back, because I'm pretty sure it's the old one that they canceled before. And obviously this morning we woke up to the animated series news, so I was like, okay, well, there's an animated series. I guess tonight we're gonna hear more about the movie and a little bit about that series. Probably is what I was thinking was gonna happen.
Yeah.
So the comics, that blindsided me a little bit, and so but like I said, the animated movie is what's really got me shook. Like, that's a lot of new Ghostbusters, and I just hope it all actually comes out and gets made and is good enough. Because everything they've done pretty much so far, at least visual medium storytelling, has been good enough for me.
Yeah, and I think that's I think they're going to find the right balance for it. They kind of know what they're doing, and they've seen the love for this franchise when they're out there doing this world tour for the film.
Yeah.
And
Um.
they get out there and take some criticism just to kind of see what's going on.
Yeah. Um. Man, it's just interesting. A lot of speculation. Now we have a lot of more waiting to do.
Exactly. Just hurry up and wait. But
Some people,
that really
they could end up with a teaser trailer tonight or something. But like, the fact that they confirmed that they're working on not just yes, Ghostbusters being worked on by Sony, but actually Jason and Gil are writing it.
yeah,
So
writing the follow up, then we've got these other outlets, right? And it's all going to be canon. So whatever happens in these things is supposed to kind of tie into the storyline, which is amazing for a movie series, right? And then the comics to tie in directly and everything else. Marvel does that a lot. They'll write the little prequel comics for some of these movie events and things like that. But like here with Ghostbusters, they have the unique opportunity to fill these gaps in now. And I think based on everything they've done, we'll probably find out that story of how the Ecto one got modified basically to have the gunner seat, right? Jason has previously said,
a thing I don't care though. I don't need to see that.
yeah, but I'm just
That's
saying, like, it just
oh,
gets,
how fucking Han Solo gets the dice in Solo, and I'm like,
yeah.
I want to see what he's been up to, but I don't give a fuck how they put the gunner seat in there.
Well, they may
I see
just
what
they
I
may
don't.
just working on it, not like have a specific ghost to catch for it, right? It just seems like something they do.
Yeah, because they do that a lot in movies, but I don't like it when they do that. It's just like too much explanations of the past.
Well,
Where did Han Solo get his butt plug?
I'm thinking comic books or the animated series. I'd be okay with it there because you know break it down. And Nick's asking what's the closest to release. I think Ghostbuster Spirits Unleashed launching this fall is the first one. I'm not sure on the Meta reality game that's also on the Sony reality game. So if you don't have one of those, it's probably looking to get that PS5 with the Sony VR2.
Hmm.
That way you can do it all in one console without doubling down to buy everything. But that'll still set you back probably $1,000. So
Yeah, I don't know what what'll be next after that? He said the comic series is end of 2023,
Hmm.
so
Which
that's a
I
ways.
think that,
Uh,
they're probably well into the writing process for the animated stuff. I would assume the animated movie may drop before the series based on the headway for that,
if they're writing this movie now,
if they're going by the script that they had before.
I'm talking about the live action movie.
Yeah.
If they're writing a new live action movie, at this point, if it takes place in Manhattan, they're not going to want a winter shoot. It's probably not going to go into production until spring, is my guess. Film production, pre-production of winter.
Yeah, I
I
think
guess
you're
it's
right. And I
pre-production, but like
releases it in time for the 40th anniversary, right?
yeah. Well, I mean,
And it could be even sooner than that, but I just think from a timing perspective.
fall of 2023 or the following summer is what I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Jerry asked, is the PlayStation Virtual Reality 2 only for the PS5? Jerry, I honestly don't know the answer to that, but based on the processing power for that, I would think so, because if you already have a PS4, you'd just be using the PlayStation VR 1 for that, I would imagine. So I don't know why you'd upgrade that without upgrading the console power for it. So good question, though.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff to look forward to, though. Pretty
Wondering. Yeah.
pretty robust lineup coming out. I mean, I'm excited for the comics, but the comics coming out, and they said in late 2023, which makes me wonder, would that directly tie into the next movie or fill in some of those gaps for that?
Well, again, I think that next movie ain't going to be seen until then at the earliest. So,
Yeah. So, I mean, it would make sense to have that comic lead up into the next movie release.
in as far as that movie goes, and if they're doing script or revisions and the Netflix series, I don't know which one of those will come out first. I don't know how far into the production they are, just because they didn't tell us. You know, he actually, I guess they have a voice cast for that animated series. He said so. Actually, that one's probably going to come before the animated movie. I'm guessing.
You're probably
I'm
right.
guessing to be the first visual video motion thing we're going to see. Like, you know, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that'll be the first of those, and then probably the live action movie, and then the animated movie, if I had to guess.
Yeah, either way, though, that gives plenty of time, and then plenty of folks are going to have their HasLab proton packs by then. So
Yeah.
I guess the thing,
Um,
like, I kind of wonder if the plasma series will be on hold for a little while, besides maybe some con exclusives, maybe until the next product's ready to drop out. Yeah, that's a good comment, Nick.
Well,
Like, how much of the original voice cast may come back for this, right? Because in the fan community, it's pretty well accepted that Dave Coulier and Arsenic.
also, just the thing is, they probably are not going to. I'm gonna guess,
Yeah,
unless they are doing an excessive real Ghostbusters stylized thing, which I don't know how much into that stuff. You know, Jason and Gil might have their own opinions on RGB being canon or not and stuff.
yeah, we may find some information out on that. Jerry asked if it's the same pack that we ordered, and yes, Jerry, that's the same pack that we already ordered. So I just
Yeah.
double checked on Hasbro Pulse. The only way, I mean, that's if you didn't pre-order it, you're not going to get one unless you pay secondary market prices for it. So there's over 23,000 backers for it. So there's going to be 23,000 of these packs made. So even if you missed out on it, you shouldn't be planning on paying $1,000 for an item at that price range, because there's going to be plenty of people that have them available. So don't go pay the eBay scalpers for those.
For sure.
And I'm glad they did include a bunch of additional um, information, basically on adding metal parts to the pack and how they scanned it and stuff, which is some stuff we already kind of knew. I wasn't really surprised by that. So
Yeah, I literally during the HasLab thing, I was just sitting there like, no.
to be honest with you, I mean, having her follow Ernie Hudson was extremely underwhelming to not have a new product to announce. Like, we've already announced that.
Well,
So
here's the fucked up thing. We've seen that they were working on new RGB toys too. We saw that Slimer with the proton pack in their shop on that HasCon or whatever. What the fuck was that shit?
Hasbro PulseCon. Yeah, PulseCon.
PulseCon a year and a half ago. We saw that they were working on that. Apparently I'm guessing they just fucking abandoned that shit.
Yeah, they could have, but I mean, at the same time, we may wind up seeing some stuff pop back up in here, right?
What are you
That
talking about?
I mean, we may wind up seeing some of the real Ghostbuster stuff re-released, especially if the new animation style is similar to that at all.
I guess we'll have to see. Did he say if they were both 3D animated or not?
No, there was no clarification around the style of animation, just it was Sony Animation Studios, which when I look at Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and the trailer for Into the Spider-Verse, the sequel follow-up, it's a no-brainer, man. That's going to be extremely beautiful to look at.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm one of those people who's very judgy on certain cartoon styles and 3D styles. It just depends on how it looks. Now, it doesn't mean I can't enjoy it or won't learn to enjoy it, because I refused to watch Rick and Morty at first because it looked like shit to me. And then I, didn't care and don't care. Even Camp Cretaceous bothered me a little bit at first, and then as soon as I watched it for 2 episodes, I was like, all right, no, this is perfectly fine. I like this.
Yeah, see, the Camp Cretaceous style I like because the dinosaurs look a lot more realistic and the people are a little bit more loosely based. So I would be pretty content with something like that. But I also do agree with the animation
I
idea.
just don't want too cartoony. Yeah, I want them like real Ghostbusters is basically a fucking anime.
Yeah,
It's not a fucking wacky cartoon. They don't look like, how some of those 80s cartoons, it depends on the appeal, but the wackier stuff looks wacky. Buildings are wonky, people are wonky. And then you look at shit like Ninja Turtles or Ghostbusters, and it's a little more like, okay, that person has a human-shaped body. They have 5 fingers.
yeah.
I mean, not the Ninja Turtles, but April probably had 5 fingers. I don't fucking know.
Yeah. No,
Probably fit them all in the box too. Hey, and we're back.
Pretty excited about all that. So we'll definitely talk about this more in the next regular episode. But I think I'm kind of at a good stopping point here for myself. I think we kind of covered it all and hyped it up, and we'll definitely see what other announcements come out.
You just fucking blank stare.
Oh, you're like way behind. You didn't say anything. What are you doing? You good with
No, I said this is all about you, isn't it? Because you want to wrap up. Yes, I'm good with that. I was just messing around, making a joke.
All right. Yeah. Well, we'll be back soon, and we may do some more live streaming now that we got it figured out. So if you're joining this, you can ignore like the first 15 minutes of it.
Well, yeah, more yeah, because we pretty much just stared at my phone and your computer when they were talking.
I had a slight child emergency here, so had to run out. Hasbro was talking, which obviously I didn't miss much, which I was okay with, but
yeah,
I'm worried about that. Oh, great. Nick's over there talking nonsense. So at this point in time, we're going to say goodnight and we will see you soon.
I'm going to have to say goodnight.